What's up, everybody? Joey here. I'm Joey64 today, back at it again with the second episode of the 64 podcast. Even though, it's been who knows how long, honestly. I don't even know. It's been so long. But, yeah, hey, so this is 64 podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about media from the past, present, and future. Today it's just me, no special guest or anything. Yeah, that's it. So today, I guess we're kind of doing a slightly different format for the podcast. Still the beginning of the podcast, so I'm gonna keep playing with different ideas. But basically, what we use this podcast now for is I'll keep doing videos like I've done before. The only one we've done before where I have guests and we kind of sit there and we go back and forth talking about topics and theories for stuff. But today we're going to be talking about the Netflix series Carmen Sandiego, just the fourth season. At the moment of this recording, both seasons 1 and 2 are out. I have just literally just turned off the TV watching the fourth season, and I'm just going to be talking about my feelings and all that. So yeah, there's not too much I have to talk about with it. Just yeah, and if of course you can find us the podcast at let me get the website up. I am so prepared. Ha ha ha. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Where in the world is the dang on thing? Okay, you know what? Basically, in the link there'll be a link below to the podcast where you can see all the services that we use, which is like Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor. Of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, you see the video version. Another thing we're going to also be doing these podcasts so I get them out quicker, since these are more of an audio-based thing. Most of them are just going to have like a few images cycling through, but unlike the Steven Universe one where I constantly kept changing the image, and it was depending on basically what we were talking about, then make it just easier for me editing wise. I just get these out quicker. It would probably just be like the logo of the show, whatever we're talking about, and if we change topics, I may change as we go on. But it's just going to be a lot easier editing wise on my part. In the future, I don't know. It just kind of depends on what, but I would like to start getting these podcasts out a bit more frequently. So that's what we're going to be going with for now on. So yeah. Anyways, so getting into the actual show, Carmen Sandiego, it is one of Netflix's originals. So, they have a lot of originals, the original stuff. What do you call it? I think they just call them Netflix originals. So, you got stuff like Shiva, Tales of Arcadia, Voltron. Is it Voltron? Yeah, Voltron, Legendary Defender, and so on. And it's another one of those Netflix originals that have came out in the past couple years. It came out in 2019, and it's been going fairly strong. It had first 2 seasons in 2019. First season being 9 episodes. The second season being, I believe, 11. Yes, 11 episodes. And that's all really it. There was not too much known about the series. It's here. As with most Netflix series, it's done fairly well, mainly based on going off of the popularity of the computer game series Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, which is based off geology. It's like one of those edutainment games, like those games where it was fun, but it was also educational, which is one thing I actually do want to give the show credit to. It does actually have a good amount of it integrates the geological aspect of its origins. Well, Carmen, the main character, Carmen, she knows a lot of stuff. So they're in I don't know, there's one episode they're in India, and she brought up oh yeah, it's the most heavily populated country in the world, and it's it doesn't oversaturate the episode. And the most it's the first is with someone in the first couple of minutes of the episode. There'll be a short little piece about it, and some other characters have some knowledge on stuff too, which we'll see throughout the series. This is a nice little detail they add, oh yeah, education, but it's not like PBS Kids educational, like the original where the whole thing was based on education. It does have a solid story. So, the big thing the big focus of this show is Carmen and her whole dynamic with Vile. Vile is basically where she came from. It is a villainous organization. So Carmen, the basic plot of the first episode or 2 is Carmen. She was founded in Argentina by this person named Coach Blunt, and Coach Blunt was basically Carmen's mother figure. as she was on the island of Vile. Vile, like I said, is an evil, villainous organization who has been working behind the shadows over the past 20 years. She learns to become like a thief and all that. She becomes like one of the top students. But later on, she ends up failing her final exam in one of her classes. A bunch of stuff happens. Basically, ends up for escaping off the island and basically going to the side of good. But she kind of remains like a neutral, kind of like she helps on the good side, but she stays in the shadows. She doesn't straight up help like Interpol, which we'll get into later and all that. So yeah, one thing I do just want to also get into is the theme song of this show. It is amazing. I love it. I like just the tone, the style of it. It's really cool. That's just one thing I just want to kind of throw it out there real quick. In general, I like shows that have theme songs on just like title, bam. Like it's actually like a song and it shows all these characters and it gets the tone ready. Which honestly, I feel like I'm probably the only person who doesn't skip the intro on Netflix. You know, they'll skip the intro. I don't do that, and sometimes Netflix automatically skips the intro. I'm like, no, rewind. I'll rewind and watch the intro. Yeah, I'm that weird person who does that. I don't know. That's just me. But for this series, for the most part, I'm just going to be giving a general overview of like, for example, this is going to be the 4th season of Carmen Sandiego. In the future, it may be based off like a couple episodes of first impressions, whatever. But like, I want y'all to go out and watch this on yourselves. Like, go get Netflix or get someone's Netflix account. I don't know, do something, because it really is a good series. I've enjoyed it. There are some problems that we will be getting into as well, but I do want to go over the problems for us, honestly. The biggest problem I've really had with the series was at the beginning, the animation was kind of like off and on. Like, sometimes it was fine, I liked it, but sometimes it wasn't, and I was like, what's going on, you know? Around episode 7, 6, I kind of started seeing, but especially around on episode 7 of the 4th season, you can really see where the animation has improved. I don't know, maybe they just finally started getting the footage more and more, and it was just fantastic. And then 8, there's a whole like car chase scene in there that was beautifully animated. And episode 9 was just amazing. That was the finale for season 1. But yeah, anyways, that was just amazing. The 4th season, it has an amazing start. The first 2 episodes is a 2-part beginning. It's outstanding. It kind of dips for a little bit, slowly picks back up, and then just jumps back up, and it's full swing. It gets into it very well, and it's really good. One of my favorite villains, like more like one of the side villains of the series, her name is Paper Star, and she was only in 1 episode, but she actually ended up being pretty instrumental into the finale. She wasn't in the finale, but because of what she did, a lot of it ended up carrying to the finale, and she was basically, she's the one who stuck out to me the most because how creepy she is. She's a very creepy, just dog. It's like you know, like in kind of like horror movies, she's like the creepy little girl that you see in like the hallways, something like, "We want to play with us," or something like that. She does it, but like everywhere she goes, so she skips everywhere, and she does like a la 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 like that, and it's the creepiest thing, and it really helps sets the creepy tone for like the episode. The tone for that episode's amazing. The way they do it, and the way it just makes you feel all creeped out, and it really gets you. That is probably episode 7 is probably my favorite episode of the series so far, of season 1. I have not, like I said, haven't seen season 2 yet. I haven't even seen the trailer for it yet, which I'm actually getting ready to probably most likely watch season 2 after this. But yeah, another villain is Gray, who's basically he's the first antagonist we really see in the series, being the first person Carmen has to go against. But he's like kind of was like an older brother figure for Carmen till eventually she escaped, and then he was like, "Oh, I don't trust you. I don't like you anymore because you didn't stay with Vile and blah blah blah." But later on in the series, which spoilers here, there will be a bit of spoilers for me to kind of talk. Well, I guess I could just I'll vaguely reference what happens. Basically, around episode 4, something happens to him, and he isn't. He's not able to. He's not a part of Vile. We'll just say that. Something happens. If you know what happens to the series, you'll know, you know what's going on. But basically, something happens to Gray, and it's just the dynamic they have after that is just amazing when he leaves it Vile, and then Carmen just kind of leaves him. It's the way she does it. It's just like, wow, that's impactful. And I feel like it's something that may come back in the second season. I could really see a couple of plot threads that, not only plot threads, but I see where they kind of plant the seeds for like future story points. Like, they don't have to go back to the great thing. I feel like they could just kind of leave it where it's at, but it's open ended. I could see them coming back to it, or if they get a third season, see them going back to it and using it. There's a lot of potential to the story. They have set it up here. The question is, though, if season 2, do they use it all up? Is that it? I don't know. I haven't really done much research in this show. I just kind of watch it. But honestly, what's really a lot of things I'm talking about here really almost like going to happen in season 2, but who knows? But yeah, Gray, I do like Gray and Carmen Sandiego. It's pretty good. Another thing I really like is the Interpol agents. I can never pronounce his name right, but it's like Devano, and Julia. They are like, they're good guys. They work with like the law and all that, but they're antagonists for Carmen. And later on, they'll join a good guy force. Later on, ACME, ACME, a lot of acronyms and acronyms, not abbreviations. There's a lot of acronyms in this show, which ACME is basically the yin to like the yang, the yin and yang. It's the Vile. So yin to yang's Vile and all that. I don't think I said it right. Basically, it's the polar opposite of Vile. And they kind of the same thing. They're in the dark. No one really knows about them. They're a worldwide agency, but they're trying to figure out who Vile is. And Vile doesn't even figure out who Acme is until later in the season. And that's where we kind of get a small plot thread building up to what eventually happens in the finale. But yeah, I do like Agent Devano and Julia. They are amazing. They are some of my favorite characters. They do give a nice amount of comedic relief as well, which isn't in any show, honestly. Speaking of comedic relief, there was also the twins, the ginger hair twins. They also have a great dynamic. They're not, at first I don't really care for them. I really don't. But as the series progresses, they become more likable, and I think they kind of grew on me until the end where they're just a solid team. And I do like that. I don't think I really care for them too much, the twins, but I think I feel like at the beginning they put them too much in, where I kind of prefer I honestly think the best way the series could have gone was just Carmen, only Carmen, that's it. But the way they did it, I think was still fine with Carmen, and she has her friends in Player, which I haven't brought up yet. Player is basically the like computer guy for the Carmen's little team, where Player is the one who gets the intel, and it's like, okay, Carmen, Vile's going to do such and such, and he'll hack into Vile's stuff and all that. And I guess one thing that important that does happen is Carmen does steal a hard drive with all of Vile's for all of the like major plans, and she gives it to Player. So that's how they kind of are able to know. Which season 1 does kind of end with, well, dang, we kind of don't, the hard drive, we've ran out of stuff. They say it's been a little around about 6 months, and they kind of imply it's been about 6-ish months. They don't really say 6 months. They just kind of like, yeah, it's been about 6 months since she's left, and that's what everyone just kind of says. So now they kind of run out of intel for Vile, but they now have a connection to Vile in the end, which, again, spoilers. I don't want to get into it. The end of this video, I want to get really into the spoilers, but for now, I'm just going to kind of vaguely reference some stuff that happens. Okay, and speaking about spoilers, I guess we're going to just kind of get into them because I've kind of gone over everything I wanted to go over. For the most part, that wasn't going to be heavily spoilers, so from this point on in the video, if you haven't watched the series yet, please go watch it. I would highly recommend it, and yeah, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Come back after. But if you're sticking around because you've already seen it, or you just don't care for spoilers, we're going to go ahead and jump straight into it. So, one thing I do kind of want to touch is the leaders of Vile. Now, there's 5 of them, And I don't have too much to say about them. We haven't really gotten to know them too well. Like, we know a good general amount about them, though. But I just kind of like the dynamic. They all kind of have their own unique personalities, and they all kind of get the one, like, they all have like the one or two moments throughout the video. Sorry, not the video. Throughout the fourth season, they all have like a moment that I kind of think of. This is all off the top of my head. Coach Bunt has she has a couple of moments, but that's because she's kind of more of a major focus. But those the Hor and Hor, she's definitely the one who has a lot of stuff going on with Hor. But I will say, now I'm going to really just get into the finale, because I love the way they did the finale. The finale of the fourth season one does a really good job at raising the stakes. I love how, we have the inspector, that I can never say his name, like Digano, well, however you say his name. Like, I hear people say it, but like I still don't understand what it is. But the inspector, I like how he gets kidnapped, so that kind of wastes the stakes, because they kind of have like a mutual, Carmen and like in the police force, they kind of have a mutual respect for each other, where they're really not like trying to go against each other, but also not. It's mainly more just Inspector Danigo. I'm just going to refer to him as the Inspector now, just because I just don't know how to say his name. So the Inspector, mainly he's like the one like I must catch Carmen Sandiego. So there's that whole thing. But then I like how they kidnapped him, and Vile kidnaps him, the Inspector, and they assume Carmen is working with him. Well, she's really not, but she's like, well, dang, now I gotta go save him. And she goes to go save him, but then she gets confronted by Coach Bunt, and there's a whole fight, and it's like, she used to be her former mother. And it's just, it really hits you good, and you kind of start to get more about her past. We're getting fed, like, just enough to make us interested, to make me want to watch the second season pretty badly, actually. I haven't watched it yet, like I said already. Can't wait to, though. But I do like how we kind of have like hints to her past. We start to find out more, and it's slowly building up to something. Towards eventually going to be the reveal of her past. It kind of reminds me of Sheila, the Netflix reboot of Sheila. How it's kind of like we build up to like who is Adora, what is her past, and it became more of a big focus in the third season. And season 4 basically starts with the reveal. This is who you are. You're not. Well, let me not say it, because this isn't a Sheila video. I don't want to spoil it just randomly. So, but yeah, that has been revealed, which I feel like that's what this show's going to go to in the second or third season. I don't know this is the third season as of now. I don't think we know, but I don't know if the second season ends on a cliffhanger like this one did or not. Well, season 1, if it ended here, I think it would be fine. I wouldn't be mad, but I would also be like, it would be a loss of potential. So there was a lot of stuff they've built up here, but there's no big, like, oh my gosh, cliffhangers. It's not no season 4 finale of Steven Universe with I Am My Mom, Steven just leaving the earth, leaving everyone behind, or go basically sacrifice himself, for lack of a better term. It's just, yeah, it's nothing crazy like that. It's just, it ends with a nice ending, they're going to keep going. Vile's going to keep going, Acme's keep going, all these characters, so everyone's going to keep going, but it's just, where is this going to go? That's the big thing. But yeah, that's really it. I don't have too much else to say. I know I've touched on the theme song already, but I do just want to emphasize again, I love the theme song. I do something, like, I like how, like, at the beginning, it's like a black and white, kind of like a noir kind of vibe, kind of feel and all that, but then later on it goes into more of like it gets colored, like halfway through it becomes colored. We see the colors, the music picks up a bit more. This is a lot of like subtle details I've noticed, because I rewatched the intro a lot, because I kind of like the general beat. If they ever released a full version of that song, I'd probably be down. I don't know, but it's not like, again, comparing this to She-Ra, the other Netflix anime series that at least I watch a lot. It's like She-Ra, that kind of felt like more like a incomplete song they could have added more to, which they later did, and I was so happy for that. Anyhow, though, that's basically all I have for today's podcast. I'm gonna go with this as being another podcast episode. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of played around there. Like maybe I'll call it like a Let's Talk because now we're like a podcast on multiple people. But also, it's kind of like there's no need to have like a Let's Talk in the podcast. Like have all these things, have them all under the podcast. This podcast goes under a big umbrella of topics, so I'm okay with it. Anyhow, that's it for today. Remember, for the podcast, we are on several services all across the globe. So, real quick, so the website for the podcast, it's anchor.fm/64 podcasts. So if you want to go on our website there, you see all of our links to all the podcasts. There's also the services you can find us on is here on YouTube, which if you're watching this on YouTube, Google Podcasts, Anchor's app, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and Spotify. We're on all of those, and along with 64 Podcasts. One thing I'm going to end y'all off with, two questions. One, would y'all be interested in me going to SoundCloud? I personally listen to a lot of podcasts on SoundCloud myself, but it's actually kind of hard to set up a SoundCloud account for creators. But I am willing to do it. If someone wants me to do it, I will do it. I don't mind. It's just a little complicated. Well, the app I currently use, it does it all for me, except for YouTube, which that's just a video, not an audio. But yeah, I'm gonna leave you off with the question is what is your favorite Netflix show? I don't really watch Netflix a lot, but I kind of want to start expanding my horizon with shows like Steven Universe ending, Gravity Falls done, OK KO's gone. I tried to get into like Amphibia, couldn't get into that. There's a few newer shows I couldn't get into. I have gone into The Owl House, so I'm excited to see where that goes. But anyhow, I'm really excited to see where Carmen Sandiego goes in the future, and most likely y'all can expect for me to do a second season video in the next couple of weeks, most likely. Anyhow, that's it for my endless talking. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next podcast. Bye!